morning, welcome to Expo 2017 in Astana. How is it going? Today I'm just going to be sort of wandering about and discovering various things that's on here. I don't really know too much about what's happening, but I'm going to sort of find out and hopefully see some interesting things. Whatever you do, don't call this building a Death Star. A little bit of history about the Expo. They started when Queen Victoria and Prince Albert decided to build Crystal Palace in London sometime in the 1850s or 1860s, I can't remember exactly off the top of my head. And they built this huge big palace, built out of glass, and it was the most magnificent structure ever built. And they invited every nation to come along and show off their subjects and show off all the things that they did and all the things that they built. And it was a resounding success. It wasn't officially called the Expo at that point, but that's sort of what started it all off. And every single one has this sort of magnificent structure at the centre of it. After a while, there was the Eiffel Tower was built for the one in Paris, and people hated it at first, but then decided to keep it, and it's become the sort of most famous building ever built for an Expo. The Crystal Palace burnt down eventually in London after it was moved out to Crystal Palace in London, and it sort of moves around the world every 4 years, so a lot of countries have these big magnificent buildings like our Death Star. There's been some that haven't quite worked out so well. Sometime in the early 1900s, there was one in Seattle, possibly not Seattle, but somewhere in Washington State in America, and they tried to raffle three-week-old adopted babies, and it was considered a bit of a faux pas. It's really quite absurd, but that's what they tried to do. So every Expo focuses on one particular thing. I think the one where the babies were adopted, or raffled actually, was focused on maternity and postnatal health care and things like that. This one is focused on green energy, or they're calling it future energy. So every sort of country has to bring something to the table about how to increase the use of renewable energy and things like that. And there's actually a conference going on the side of it where various people, various academics and various industry leaders and all that sort of stuff are discussing future green energy, renewable energy. And so, because the focus of this year's Expo is green energy or future energy, there's plenty of stands paid for by the oil companies, trying to show how much time they devote to green energy when all they do is pump oil. I hadn't actually realised that Cirque du Soleil were here, but we're going to have to try and get tickets or see if we can have a look. Never been to Cirque du Soleil, but it's meant to be interesting. Every country gets its own national day. Today is the National Day of the Caribbean, so we're getting lots of Caribbean music playing from this stage over here. And yeah, I quite like it, it's good. I'm not sure when the Great British one is. There's no Irish National Day, unfortunately, which is a bit annoying. That's because Ireland aren't here. So, no Guinness for me. do love how Jordan has got the treasury of Petra as its sort of entranceway. We probably need to go back to Petra at some point. And so the Kazakh government spent $10 billion on building all of this. Building the Death Star, which I should actually note is called the Nur Alem. Probably shouldn't be calling it the Death Star. $10 billion in all of this. And it's, well, we'll see in 50 years whether it was worth it. They expected 5 million visitors. But there's enough people here every day to get up to 5 million. I'm not entirely sure, but let's see what happens. So Venezuela are here, even though their country is in one of the biggest crises they've ever had. And so, as the years have gone on, expos have actually got less and less popular, mainly because of the internet. The purpose of the expo is to sort of bring the world closer and bring people together, and sort of the internet does that now. Everybody knows everything that's happening all over the world, or if they want to find out about the world, they can quite easily find out and do a little bit of research. They don't really need to visit an expo anymore. Not actually going to do anything today. I'm just sort of finding my feet and finding my way about, finding out where everything is. Tomorrow I'll go and actually see some exhibits and things like that, and try and get into the Death Star. The queue for it is absolutely massive, and so there's just no way I'm going to get in. Well, I probably could do if I queued, but that is me for today. Stay tuned if you want to see more from the expo, and click like if you enjoyed it, hit subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you soon. Bye!